I remember the first time I went with my grandmother back in the 60s to vote. And we used to get all dressed up. I remember, you know, how she was a very dignified woman and how very important it was for her to get all dressed up and go down to the polling location to vote. And I get dressed up too, you know, and follow her into the voting booth and all that, and how proud she was to do that. And I used to tug at her dress and say, you know, one day I hope that I'm going to be the lady behind there that will help people to vote because you seem to like it so much. And that's how I got here. I just, you know, every time I think about that, I think about how important it is to exercise your right to vote. I went to college, majored in social studies and political science, then ended up teaching government in the public school system. And so part of the civics class that I taught, I would always emphasize the importance of voting because it's always been so near and dear to my heart. Then I went on to graduate school and did some other things, always trying to stay very close to family issues and the rights of individuals, and even did a little child support enforcement, you know, to help families in that way. My current job is at Cobb County Elections. I've been there for 15 years, and I do a lot of things for the agency. I find places for us to go to vote and help maintain those places. But the greatest part of my job is being the voter educator. So I get to come out and be with you and other organizations and teach you about voting. So what we do at Cobb County Elections is we register people to vote. We want you to come there when you're 17 and a half years old so that we can get you registered. And I'm actually going to do that today for anyone who is eligible. And then we provide locations for you to vote in, and we also give you an opportunity to vote early. We have what is now called advance voting, so that you don't have to actually wait for election day. You can vote early now, or you can vote absentee, and if you're an older citizen or someone who is going to be outside of your area on election day, then we can mail you a ballot, so you can vote that way. So you always have an opportunity to vote. There are 153 precincts in Cobb County. There are over 400,000 voters in Cobb County, and our office conducts every state, federal, and local elections, and some of the municipal elections for 4 of the cities that are located in Cobb. We hire poll workers. We prepare ballots and sample ballots for folks, and we also everything that we do is very detail-oriented, but it's very, very confidential because, you know, we're dealing with all of your personal information. We don't work for candidates, y'all. We work for you as a citizen. You know, so we're nonpartisan. We're not affiliated with any party. We just help to conduct the elections. Our job is to always produce a fair and accurate election for everyone, and to help you with updating and maintaining your information. So voting, and as you can see from the video, voting is one of your very basic rights, and this right can never be taken away from you unless you commit a crime. And if you do commit a crime, then you still have an opportunity to serve your sentence, complete your probation, and then ask that your voting rights are reinstated. So if you know someone who may be in that position, they can actually call our office and we will very discreetly help them figure that all out. Because if you have an opportunity, if you have been faced with a problem like that, but you want to rectify it, then we can help you with that. And I don't think a lot of people know that. I think a lot of people who get in trouble think that they can never vote again, but that's not true. Okay, question? Okay, comment? Okay. All right, so why is it so important to vote? Well, it's one of our basic responsibilities. It's all a part of being a responsible citizen in your community. And so how voter responsibility is just, you know, one factor in the election process. So how do we become responsible voters? Well, the first thing you do is you register, okay? And then we want you to be aware of all of the election dates. And we have a website where we publish all that information. And I have a lot of materials in the back that actually have that website so that you can use it to go on there, and you can even go to my voter page and put in your parents' names and birth dates and pull up their information and make sure they're registered. You should educate yourself about the candidates who are running. How do you do that? You can read the newspaper, you can go on their websites, you can stop by their campaign offices, you can talk to them directly, and you can talk to people in your community that you know who are intelligent and knowledgeable about issues and candidates. So do that. Educate yourself on issues. Be aware of what things are happening in your community, whether or not the schools are asking for a tax so they can build better schools, whether or not the Department of Transportation is interested in having a 1-cent tax so that they can build better roads. Look at it, talk about it, and just, learn about these things, and that way you maintain your awareness about what's happening in your community. And then vote. Vote in every election. I just spoke to a gentleman, is it Mr. Wise, who came up to me and said, I can proudly say that I voted in every election. And so a lot of people cannot say that. He's never missed an election since he was given the opportunity to register to vote. I mean, that's very impressive to say. And I hope that you will one day be able to say that. If you change your name, or if you get married, or if you change your address, always let your voter registration office know that so we can update your information. So there's no problem about you being able to vote in the area where you live. And then go a step further. Support someone and work on someone's campaign, or come work for us. If you don't want to be involved in a political setting, come work for us as a poll worker. I just wanted to ask you, did you know that to be a legislative page downtown in Atlanta, where our legislators meet, you only have to be 12 years old? And that's something that you can apply for through your congresspersons. And I have some information in the back if you're interested in that. And that's a great way to see how laws are made and who's doing that, who's representing you. Did you know that you only have to be 16 to serve as a poll worker? We would love to employ you as a poll worker, but I'm gonna tell you, you gotta be responsible. And you can't come in there with your earphones on and your beatbox going, okay? You really have to pay attention and be focused. But if you'd like to work, I'd love for you to work with us. And we pay really well, like $100 a day. And then we pay for you to go to class. And then we pay for you to set up the polls. So think about it. And I've got some applications in the back if you're interested in that too. And did you know that you only have to be 17 and a half to register to vote? Okay, I just started talking about money now, That's okay. I ain't mad at none of y'all. Okay. All right. Come back to me. All right. Did you know you only have to be 17 and a half to register to vote and only 18 to vote? So, there's all kinds of things that you can do as a young adult, in approaching adulthood. You only have to be 21 to be a member of the Georgia House of Representatives. You only have to be 25 to be in the Georgia Senate. You only have to be 30 to be in the United States Senate. And to be governor, you only have to be 30. And to be president, you only have to be 35. So, there's lots of things that you can do. So I hope that you'll think about those things and do some of them. So today, we want to teach you how to use the touch screen in the back. Okay, that's the voting equipment that we vote on. And if you're at least 17 and a half, and I met a young man who is, please come back and register to vote. And if you're 16, get that application to be a poll worker. And let's see, November 6th is the presidential election, and Cobb County schools are closed, so y'all could work, okay? And if you're already registered to vote and have changed your name or your address or whatever, come back and fill out a change of address or name card with us. And I have sample ballots in the back for all of you all who are interested in who's going to be on the ballot in November. How about that? I want to remind you that the presidential election is November 6th. If there's a runoff that's necessary, it's going to be December 4th. But the last day to register to vote in the November election is October 9th. Please pass that information on and do not forget, because we want as many people voting in November as possible. Okay? We don't care who you vote for, we just want you to vote. All right? So encourage all your family and friends to get registered. I'm going to be in the back if you need, any assistance. I have a table full of materials back there, and I'd love for you to take them. There's all kinds of information about our advanced voting locations. There's a workbook back there that I wrote for middle school and the elementary school students. It's about the importance of good citizenship and voting. Parents, please take those books and share them with your younger students, your younger children. So, you want to touch the future?
Yes.
Then you need to get registered. You need to vote after that. And then you want to make an impact on your future? Okay? Well, then you remember to be a proud citizen and register and then vote. Thank you very much. Good luck to you. And if you have any questions, I'll be available for you in the back.
All right, thank you again, Ms. Ivy, for coming out to tell us a little bit more about registering and voting. What we're going to do now is have a little bit of an interactive session. We're going to take divide this group into about 4, and we're going to take turns going back there, learning about the touchscreen. That is actually, if you turn around and look in the back of the room, that is actually one of the machines that once you turn 18, that you will actually be voting at. So we want to definitely get you guys familiar with.
All right, so then what you do is you read the directions. And essentially what these directions tell you, it says to pick the box to the left of the name that you want, and when you touch it, there'll be an X that
If there's anybody that is 17 and a half or any parents that need to update any voter registration information, there's a table in the back of the room to get all of that taken care of. If you are 17 and a half, you just head back to the back of the room and get registered to vote.
This is a sample. I made up this ballot, so we're going to vote for famous leaders, famous Georgians, and famous athletes. So I'm going to let you vote one category, and then I'm going to let you vote the second category, okay? All right, you come up and vote for famous Georgian. Okay, and then I'm going to let you vote for a famous athlete. All right, now when you're finished voting, you press this next button, and it'll take you to the next page. Okay, remember I was talking about being aware of issues in your community? Well, this is a page for constitutional amendments and issues. So then we're going to let you come up and vote on the state constitutional amendment that says, should the presidential election day be a national holiday? So you vote yes or no. Okay, and then I'm going to let you come up and vote on the second issue that says, shall bonds be issued to improve the maintenance of local parks? Okay? All right, very good. And then I'm going to have you come up and vote here on whether or not, are you planning to take a 2-week vacation this summer? All right. Okay, and then, let's see, who hasn't touched the touchscreen? Okay, you press next. Okay. And then what happens, you guys, is there's a summary page so that you have an opportunity to review what you just voted.